Peace. I want to first and foremost give all praises and glory to the Most High Yah, the Holy One of my forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is Dawid ben Israel coming to you from the wilderness of the Red Sea. And this is a continuation from the previous live that I did called Humility Part 1. This is Humility Part 2. And this is these are the steps to helping our men become more humble, so we can lead by example, that our women may follow and our children. We are the light bearers, talking about the nation of Israel, specifically the inhabitants of Zion. So this is a message to my brothers, and hopefully my sisters can relate to this as well, so we can become a fruitful nation once again, striving for righteousness' sake. So I'll go ahead and get started and pick up where I left off. So in the previous live, I talked about 10 steps to becoming humble. And I'm going to pick up on number 11. So avoid comparing yourself to others. Humility grows when you stop competing and simply just start serving. We have to get out of this competitive nature with one another, especially the men, debating about who got more knowledge than who. Because at the end of the day, none of this knowledge and none of this wisdom is yours, it's all yours. So you just have to keep that in mind. Be humble enough to know that, remember, everything that you've acquired, all the wisdom that you acquired from Yah, there was a time that you didn't know. So just be humble. And when you are expressing your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, be soft, be gentle, So, yeah, that's the first thing we got to do, especially with our men. All these debates turns into arguments, because at the end of the day, it's about us. Because whether it's consciously or subconsciously, we truly believe in our thought and our minds that the wisdom that we got is ours. But it's not, it's Yah's. So, us brothers, we got to stop competing with each other, man, and start helping each other. And be humble to receive information. And keep your minds open. So number 12 is be content with your portion. That's one thing I see in our communities, is everybody is discontent. And discontentment breeds pride and envy. So you got to be grateful, for what Yah has given you, man. The key to life is being content. When you start worrying about things that you don't got, looking at everybody else, what they got, and you measuring yourself in comparison to what other people got, man, that's just going to cause stress, anxiety. And at this point in time, we don't need that in our lives, man. We got to be content with our portion. Alright, so Proverbs 30, verses 8 through 9, it says, "Give me neither poverty nor riches, lest I be full and deny you." Sometimes, man, we ain't ready for what we want. You know what I mean? So you have to keep that in mind too. You don't have to desire everything what the next man got. The law said we shouldn't covet. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be coveting in our hearts. Be content with your portion. Live in the now. Don't think about the future, what you want. Don't think about the past, what you didn't have. Just be content with your portion at this present moment. Number 13, fear Yah always. We talked about before, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom and understanding. Humility is the fruit of truly fearing Yah, man. Keep His laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the foundation, as I mentioned before in the previous live. Proverbs 22 and 4, it says, by humility and the fear of Yah are riches and honor and life. Life. Number 14, walk with quiet confidence in Yah. Quiet confidence, man. Be humble, be smooth. Be chill like Yah. Yah is smooth. He's a smooth power, man. Really humble. He says a humble man doesn't need to prove himself. He trusts Yah as his covering. You know. In Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15, it says, in returning and rest shall you be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Confident, but be quiet, smooth. Talked about this in Isaiah chapter 42, man. You know, the chapter 2 or Isaiah chapter 42 or chapter 49. I'm pretty sure it's chapter 42. But it talks about, you know, Yah's servants won't cause their voice to be heard in the streets, man. You know, you got to remember, we are fragile people coming out of a dark, deep captivity, man. Trauma. You have to be gentle. You have to be soft with our people, man, or they won't receive it. You know, Yah don't beat things into us, man. He's smooth with it. He put it right before us, and we have to make a choice whether we go and acknowledge it or we not. You know, it's not up to you to decide. You don't have that power of people going to accept what you give them. All you can do is just deliver the message. So you don't need to be forceful with Yah's word. So walk quietly but in confidence, man. Be confident. Know your Creator. The more we know Yah, the more confident we become. And a confident man that's humble is powerful. Number 15. Fast and afflict your soul before Yah. You know, humility is deepened through fasting, repentance, and seeking Yah's face. You know. So I know it's hard to fast for some people. For me, it's hard to fast. But every time I do, man, I feel it. I feel the frequency, man. Humility. You know, just that fasting let you know just how fragile we truly are as well. That keeps you humble. You know? Acknowledge your sins without excuse, man. Don't try to justify your wrongs. Confess them plainly before Yah. You know, don't try to justify yourself, man, especially when you know you're doing wrong. And that's why it's best. You have to know this law. Knowing this law is knowing Yah. And that's how you measure. That's the measuring line. That's the measuring stick. The law. You know. And it talks about this in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, then will I hear from the heavens, man. So we got to be humble before Yah. Number 17, excuse me. Rejoice in others' success without envy. Be proud and be happy for your brothers, man. Support each other, man. You see them coming up, support them, man. You know, we have to develop a networking system, man. In order for that networking system to come into fruition, man, we have to support one another, man, without any envy. And this goes back to what I said before. You support, you build by being content with your portion. You know, that's most important, man. You got to be humble. It says a humble spirit celebrates others' blessings or favors without resentment. You can't hold resentment in your heart for your brothers or your sisters. Proverbs 14:30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy is the rottenness of the bones, man. We can't be envious against one another, man. We have to protect one another, man, and we have to support. Also, man, number 18 is key. Avoid the company of the proud, man. The people you walk with, they shape your spirit, man. Stay close to the humble people. Your environment, man, is really key to what type of frequency you elevating on. Or you know, the frequency that you're vibing on. You know, you gotta stay away from the proud, man. Those energies affect you. Whether you're aware of it or not, it affects you. Your body is reacting to it. Your mind, your heart. You gotta stay away from the proud, man. If you peep prideful tendencies, you're gonna have to disassociate yourself with your surroundings, with your people, with your peers. You know what I'm saying? That's not doing you no good. Number 19, let your deeds speak for themselves, man, not your words. Yah's about action. He don't care about your words, man. It talks about this in Isaiah chapter 29, man. They call out to me, man, but they remove their hearts far from me. You know, these people, you know what I mean, who are proud in heart, you know, but they speak smooth words, man. You have to be careful. Don't trust in man's words, man. Look at the fruit of their doings. Look at their actions. Their actions reveal the mind. I'm going to say that again. People's actions reveal their mind. Yah, that's how Yah reveals everyone. It reveals your mind and your heart. Your thoughts. It will come into fruition through your actions. And number 20. Constantly remember where Yah brought you from. Remember, man, there was a time we didn't know none of this. Like it talks about in Isaiah chapter 53, man. Most of all of us were roots out of dry ground. We wasn't watered with the knowledge of Yah. It's talking about his servant. It's talking about Zion, man. It's talking about his nation, the nation of Yisrael, man. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't watered with the knowledge of Yah. Remember the journey, man. That's really, every time you start feeling yourself getting off the path and you start getting prideful, man, always call to mind your journey and how you got to this point. Reflect on your past and how far Yah has brought you. It will keep your heart low and grateful and content. And I finish with this. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 2. And you shall remember that Yah, your power, led you all the way for these 40 years to humble you and to prove you. This is what our forefathers, he was calling our forefathers to remember. You know, when they got into the land, remember the journey. Never forget the journey, man. The journey is important. The good and the bad. It all is relevant. It all has shaped you into who you are today. So never forget the journey, man. That will humble your heart. So when you see others and you reaching out to others and you delivering the message, it will make sure, like it talks about in Isaiah chapter 42, you don't quench the smoking flax. You know what I'm saying? That little light, if you blow gently on it, if you blow gently, smooth, you will keep that light going. But if you blow too hard, you'll blow the fire out, man. You'll blow the light out. And a lot of people, unfortunately, man, have had people come to them in this word, man. And the people who were delivering that message, they blew that light out, man. Because they tried to force it on them. And it's sad. So we gotta be humble, man. So this is a quick meditation on humility. Yah, take pride from my heart and replace it with quiet humility. Help me to listen more than I speak, to serve without seeking praise, and to accept correction with grace. Teach me to remember all that I have is from you, and without you I am nothing. Let my life reflect your greatness and not my own. Right, so with that, give all praise and glory to the Most High Yah. Thank you for tuning in. Shalom.